where they, for a long time, didn't give anything but base pay. And so they wouldn't do anything else. And so they could throw a really big number at people. And it worked really well. People didn't really think about what the costs are of benefits and all these other things, or equity, or the value of equity. And so I think like there's an opportunity to better convey what you are giving. A health insurance benefit in the United States is incredibly expensive. And to be able to convey that this thing's costing them $10,000 to $20,000 to provide to you is something that will, I think, create some loyalty. I think it has been proven that it creates some loyalty. Being able to correctly show what equity, and I know most people don't get equity, but in the cases that they do, they're going to be highly leveraged employees. How do you reflect how much that equity is worth? I think we've had a lot of challenges. I've seen organizations really challenged with trying to convey that. So I think compensation package is just explaining how they're being compensated is a big piece. But in terms of like unique perks, I think early wage access is probably one of the hot ones right now. It's definitely caught on in the US. I think it's starting to catch on more globally. Technology needs to get a little bit better on how to figure out, similar to what Ian said, how do we figure out in more real time what someone has earned so that we can truly give them what they've earned? Right now, a lot of these systems are based on, I would say, attendance data, which isn't always fully accurate. And so there's some challenges that you may need to think through. Honestly, if you're in the US, try to find an early wage access provider that takes all the risk, because then if they get it wrong, they're going to eat the cost. And I think you can find those players out there that would do that. So I think that's one thing you can do there as well. And then one other area, is interesting with global is there's employer of record, where you just kind of have to think about like, how are your benefits and perks going to be different between your kind of regular employees and these employer of record employees? And so it can be really challenging sometimes to get a comparable set of benefits with EOR that you provide to your regular employees. And not having those be equivalent or close to equivalent can create issues with the culture of the company. So it's just something to think about when you're setting up your benefits with an EOR. Are they going to give you the set of benefits that you're going to need to be competitive with the rest of your employee base, so you're not creating these weird disparities? And there's some really other interesting benefits out there as well around fertility and all these other things that are happening. But I think those have lower adoption right now. 529 college saving matches is another one that I've seen some action on, but it's very low adoption in the US. I think those are the main things you can look at. And then I view early wage access as like an X factor, that if you can get it in a place where you can get high adoption for it, it can have a huge impact. There's been a number of studies that have shown that retention of employees is significantly higher at places with earned wage access than without. So it is kind of a nice bonus, or like a additional thing you can do if it's available in your market.
Yeah, retention and attraction. Some of the data we have on that says that if you're getting an offer from a company that has it as an option, they're substantially similar, you lean more heavily in the favor of a company that's giving you more options on how to get paid, when to get paid, those sorts of things, more control there overall.